Good afternoon, Mount Hood territory. We are doing the tiny house thing. We are having a blast up here at Mount Hood Tiny House Village. It's the newest craze in both permanent lodging and also vacation lodging, as people enjoy simplifying things, downsizing a little bit, and finding a new way to get out and explore Mount Hood territory. I am joined by Jenna. Not only does she help push and promote the tiny houses here, she is a tiny house lifestyle expert herself. She's living the lifestyle. Got a huge blog following herself. Give me the name again.
Tiny House Giant Journey.
Tiny House Giant Journey. So she actually knows everything about tiny houses and this awesome spot here. So I mean, this is a beautiful spot. It's been here a little over a year now, and it's really gained a lot of publicity, a lot of buzz.
Yeah, it really has. These tiny houses are booked almost every weekend. You know, this sort of works as like a tiny house hotel. People can come and try out the lifestyle. So they have 5, 6, 7 tiny houses here available for you to actually try out for the weekend. So we get people every weekend coming in, trying it out, people returning, doing their family reunions here. People are really loving it. So
how many would you say, if you know, like kind of off the top of your head, how many people are vacationers versus people trying to see if they want to do the tiny house thing on a more permanent basis?
You know, most people who come, I feel like there's somebody trying to convince somebody else. So it's usually like a husband and wife, and maybe he's convinced but she's not. So it's always like semi-vacation but also with a purpose. Like maybe we could downsize, maybe not to this level, but maybe get rid of a lot more stuff and go from a 2,600 square foot house to maybe a 2,000 square foot house. So downsizing doesn't have to mean tiny necessarily for everyone.
Now we're America, we like to go to extremes on everything.
Right.
Ramp it up to 11.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a fun thing to stay as well. I mean, a lot of people are really getting into it on vacation size because I mean, look, if you look at this, it's basically somebody took a regular home and just shoved it in a dryer.
Right.
But I mean, you've got all those amenities of home in each one of these things.
Exactly, and one of the best things about tiny houses, rather than RVs, is that they're built like regular homes. So you have insulation, you can stay in them through all 4 seasons. So here at Mount Hood, we obviously have the draw of timberline and ski bowl and meadows nearby. And so people like to come here even in the winter time and use them as little ski cabins. So people really are enjoying it all 4 seasons.
So we've got several of them here, and we're going to actually tour one of them, but I kind of want to show them off. So, you know, each one kind of has its own different look.
Yeah.
So what's kind of like the theme that we've got going on here?
Well, each one has a different theme, and they all have names sort of representing their theme. We have Scarlett, who's sort of a farmhouse girl. We have Savannah over here, a little bit more of a girly girl. There's daisies and more of a yellow theme inside. And then we have...
It's kind of got that southern look too.
Yeah,
you know.
a little southern draw. Savannah, Georgia.
See where we're going.
Exactly. Lincoln over here, I think because Lincoln logs and maybe like more of a woodsy feel is a little bit more manly, if you will. It's actually the most popular tiny house we have here.
And Lincoln actually looks like the largest as well, which
it
makes sense because
largest.
Lincoln was a tall dude.
He was a tall dude, so we have to be able to accommodate everybody, all shapes and sizes,
there you
right?
Go.
So yeah, there's just a lot of different designs here, and people can really try out what makes them feel the most comfortable. And sometimes people come back and try out a different style just to see if that one fits them a little bit better. So is one of the perks of tiny houses also affordability when it comes to vacations? I mean, you get all these amenities, but you're not paying a big giant resort fee. No, you're not. So, I mean, you're staying in a campground still when you're coming here to stay. So you still get the feel, you get all the amenities of the campground, all of the activities that they do here. But for the campground price, you're really staying in a pretty deluxe accommodation compared to more of a rustic cabin or a tent or yurts. This is actually like a real home that feels luxurious, but you still get the feel of being out in the outdoors and in a campground. The best of both worlds. I love it. Right. Well, let's check out Scarlett, because sure. I'm digging this house. I mean, and the design of it, you hear something like tiny house and you'd expect to lose something. But when you come to Scarlett here, I mean, there's this beautiful design. It looks like an actual home, and it's got some great little, decor points to it. Yeah, when it comes to tiny houses, it's really all about proportionality, and the architectural elements of a regular home are staying within the design. So some people think having a little bit of a little porch isn't necessary in a tiny space, but I would say that it really brings a lot to the aesthetic, and this is why Scarlett is one of my favorite tiny houses. It really does look like a farmhouse. Well, I mean, and actually I think a porch is necessary. I need somewhere to stand up here and yell at kids to get off my lawn or something. Exactly, so and in Oregon we get a lot of rain, so this is a way for you to get out your keys, your groceries without getting soaked. That's a really good point. Yeah. She's going with the pragmatism. I'm making bad jokes. No. You want to go inside? Let's check out the inside. All right. Come on in, Molly. So as you see as you go in, I mean, there really is every amenity you would find in a full-sized home. You've got your TV, you've got, a dining area, you've even got a kitchen. Yeah, it's a little kitchenette. So there's a 2-burner stove, a freezer, fridge. It's a mini fridge. It's sort of like hotel style. People aren't usually staying here for more than a few days at a time, so that's enough to accommodate most people.
But this is still, I mean, when you look at the kitchenette, better than you would get even at a hotel,
Oh,
because
yeah.
they don't have it. I mean, and it's a nice set of appliances there.
Right, and a lot of people, when they come to a campground, they like to cook outside, so there is a barbecue provided outside and a fire pit as well, so you can do that. And in tiny house space, you know, empty space is something to be very valued and precious, so we do a lot of small space design in a tiny house. So like the dining table flips down to give you more space. And we actually have 3 bedrooms in this tiny house, which makes it pretty special.
And that's what blew me away when you told me about that. I mean, you would not expect something like this to have 3 different sleeping areas.
Yeah, so this can accommodate 5 people. So a lot of families prefer to rent out Scarlet. And again, that's a very economical way for you to travel with your family, is to be able to rent just one tiny house and accommodate your whole family of 5. So there's a downstairs bedroom for 1, and then there's 2 upstairs lofts that will sleep 2 people in each loft.
That's awesome. Now, what's the square footage of this one?
Ooh,
Ish.
yeah. I mean, I think it's around 200 square
Okay.
feet. Yeah.
So you really pack a lot. And I mean,
Yeah.
talk about efficiency.
Yeah, it's really important to be efficient for tiny housers. I mean, eco-friendly is one of the main reasons why people go tiny. So you'll see renewable resources in here, like the cork flooring, and everything in here is meant to be environmentally friendly as far as sustainability and how easily you can heat it and cool it in the summertime. So that is something that's very important to tiny housers.
Sustainability, comfort, all the amenities of home.
Exactly.
I'm just seeing win-win-win here for staying at a tiny home.
Although there are a lot of reasons why people don't go tiny, because they like more space, and I can understand that as well. But what's really fun about trying out a tiny house is you get to try out a different lifestyle and maybe open your mind to how other people are living.
Oh, good. I was hoping I could make Molly climb the stairs while we did this, but she's going for it.
Yeah, there you go.
And you know, one thing that I noticed, I mean, again, the efficient use of space, each one of these stairs also is storage.
Exactly.
So you can come here and stash your stuff and you're not tripping over things, which I do on an easy basis anyway, but...
Right, yeah, so every inch of space is utilized in some way, shape, or form, and there's a lot of windows to bring the outside in, there's skylights. So, you know, we've been doing this, tiny housers have been doing this for about a decade now, and we've sort of figured out what works and what doesn't, and what really makes the space feel bigger.
So you've got it down to a science. See, that's how it works. We let the beginning people here make all the mistakes, find out what works, and now we can take advantage of all their knowledge and not have to experiment for ourselves.
Yeah, we'll be the guinea pigs for you.
Well, tell people how to find the place, both in person and online, so they can learn more and also, you know, see more pictures and maybe book a tiny home.
Right, so we're located in Welches, Oregon. It's about an hour outside of Portland, 45 minutes without traffic. And you can find the tiny house village and how to rent it at mounthoodtinyhouse.com.
I really do love it here. I think I'm just going to stay.
Okay,
I think this
yeah.
totally works.
Would you like to pick out your new tiny house?
Yeah, you know what? I'm here. I'm
Okay.
sold on this one. I'm one
Scarlet?
of those. I just tend to jump at what I first see, so
Sure.
it works for me. So we'll let Molly come out, and we can kind of look around at some of the homes a little bit more. I think we've got a question, so we'll go ahead and let Facebook Land ask that.
Other amenities in the village, like restaurants nearby or trailheads?
No, that's actually a good point. In case you couldn't hear Molly, they're asking some other amenities nearby because I mean this is a resort and there's other stuff nearby. So you come here, what else can people do and enjoy?
So on the actual property themselves, there is an indoor pool, hot tub, full gym. There's a restaurant here that's very popular, especially for breakfast. It's called the Dragonfly.
I was going to say that place has the best bacon.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm a bacon snob. It's none of that thin, see-through, I can read paper through it. This is big ol' hunks of bacon.
Right.
That was a good breakfast.
Yeah, I know. Everyone loves the breakfast here. And then there's obviously laundromat here on site, and there's trails as well, and some activities in the summertime. They're always doing something on the weekend. We do movie nights. We do a lot of stuff for the kids. There's a playground here for the kids. And then, of course, as you know, outside of this resort area, there's the mountain. People can go snowboarding or go hiking in the winter. There's a lot of outdoor activities in this area.
I mean, we're in Welches, so we're right near the villages of Mount Hood, so there's all kinds of great restaurants with some of the best pizza places on the planet, a few of them right around here. There is, of course, Mount Hood itself. We've got the resort at the mountains, golf if you want to do that there.
Right.
The spa, so if you're out skiing and you fall a lot like I do, you can get a massage there and maybe recoup a little bit.
Right.
There's some great stuff going on there. I think we've got another question too, so we'll go ahead and let that go.
Pricing, is it general pricing for
That was actually my next question, the pricing, because as we talked a little bit about that, it's actually really affordable, but if you could throw some specifics without
Yeah.
putting you on the spot too much.
Oh, no. So to stay here for a night, it starts at $129 a night.
Oh,
now
wow,
remember,
okay.
that's for 5 people a lot of times, because a lot of these tiny houses can accommodate multiple people. So when you divide that out, it's really
Yeah.
affordable compared to a lot of others staying in different places. I
Well, and
think
again,
that's
you
what
get
they're
the
asking.
amenities of each of the house. You get a kitchenette
Yes.
and everything, plus
The
all the amenities of
pool,
the entire
yeah,
resort.
all the things. And they do have a bus, I really enjoy this, that goes directly up to Timberline straight from here. So you don't even have to drive in the winter, which can be kind of sketchy going up to Timberline.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to have that amenity as well.
And that's actually, we're right by a stop for Mount Hood Express as well.
Yes.
So if you don't have a car, you could actually public transit the entire way from Portland Airport to Sandy, catch Mount Hood Express from there, and you could do the whole public transit thing. We've actually got stuff on our website there. but,
Correct.
give everybody the website so they can find out more information.
Yeah, MountHoodTinyHouse.com is where you can learn more about these tiny houses and the area.
And they've got some beautiful photographs. You can get a little tour of each one of the homes, find your favorite one. And I think you said your favorite one is Scarlett, so we got to tour your
Yeah,
favorite.
right now I feel pretty connected to Scarlett. I think she's pretty. She's one of my favorites because of all the sleeping spaces. It's pretty amazing they were able to do that.
So I'm going to go on this way because you're doing the tiny house thing yourself, actually, as the lifestyle.
Yeah.
How have you found that, that transition? Has that been something that was easy, or what was the, the goal?
It was a long transition for me. I used to live in Los Angeles in a big apartment, 2,000 square foot apartment. I downsized in 2014, built a tiny house, and traveled with it for 1 year.
Oh,
and
wow.
I've lived in a couple different places, but I've been here with my tiny house for the last year and a half. And I really love it. I don't think I'll ever go back to a big house again. I'm not saying I'll full-time always be in 200 square feet, but I'll never live in a large house again. It's so freeing, the lifestyle, and I have less things, less stress, less things to worry about. I really do enjoy it.
And you can read about that journey again at tinyhousegiantjourney.com.
Yeah, .com.
So you can find out more there. Jenna, thanks for having us.
Thank you
This
so
is
much for
awesome for
coming.
joining us.
Yeah.
Folks, you definitely want to give this a try. It's a fun way to maybe have a different type of vacation than you've ever had, and it's absolutely beautiful. And of course, we're up here in the villages of Mount Hood and Welch's, so it's a gorgeous spot. Thanks for joining us here at Mount Hood Territory Live. We will see you again in another 2 weeks, next week actually, where we're going to be live on Wednesday at TMK Farms and Creamery, where we're talking cheese. Looking forward to that one. I might be milking a cow. We'll see. See you next time at Mount Hood Territory Live, folks. Thanks for joining us.